Good afternoon. My name is Devin Hubbard. I'm one of the founders of Aerem Innovations. And today for the Innovation Showcase, we'd like to highlight a little bit about the product that we've been working on, which is a mask fitter called the AerFrame. None of what we're going to talk about today would have been possible without an incredible team. As I mentioned before, my name is Devin Hubbard. I'm one of the founders of Aerem Innovations, and I'm the president. I've got not quite 1.5 decades worth of experience of product development and design, and specifically in the medical devices world, as a faculty member here in the UNC and NC State Joint Department of Biomedical Engineering, as well as the lead design engineer for a group called Fast Tracks inside of the North Carolina Translational Research and Clinical Sciences Institute. Our team consists of a variety of folks, most of whom are currently engineers or have a history of being an engineer. But we've started to bring on some other members to ramp up our sales and marketing, which we'll talk about a little bit later. Today, I'm joined by one of my co-founders, Nicole Wiley, and I'll let her take over and introduce herself from here.
Thank you, Devin. I'm Nicole Wiley, and I'm one of the co-founders of Aerem Innovations. I'm also the prototype and design engineer for Fast Tracks at the NC Translational and Clinical Sciences Institute for the School of Medicine right here on campus at UNC. Last year, March 2020, our Fast Tracks group was contacted by UNC Health Administration for help in engineering an N95 mask alternative. PPE supply chains around the world were grinding to a halt. UNC themselves was within a couple days of complete depletion of their N95 mask stock. So a strike team was formed by UNC that included Devin and our team at Fast Tracks. We tackled over 10 different mask-related designs, including pediatric masks, and we partnered with a large-scale clothing manufacturer to develop a mask that received FDA authorization. Throughout our testing and engineering and development, we determined that a mask must have three important things. The first is adequate quality material. The material needs to be able to filter out the particles that you're trying to keep out. The second is you need to have enough of this quality material. And the third, and the most challenging, is to have a proper fit of the material. We developed the AerFrame. It's a patent-pending comfortable mask frame that can be worn nearly over any mask, cloth mask, KN95, the surgical ear loop mask. It improves the fit between these masks and the user's face. It's most importantly reusable, easy to clean with an alcohol wipe. It reduces eyewear fog and also irritation caused by ear loops.
Great. So Nicole highlighted the features of the AerFrame, which is just a mask fitter that was designed very carefully. We did a lot of testing early on. So I've got some data here up on the screen from the Center for Environmental Medicine and Lung Biology here at UNC. And basically what they did was they tracked the ability of particles to get into the mask before and after applying the AerFrame. As you can see here, and I'll highlight the two on the left because they're most common, KN95s, those sort of ear loop style, they tend not to fit very well. But when you put a fitter over them, because they've got such good material, they're actually, in some cases, capable of passing an N95 fit test. Likewise, those procedure masks are made out of really high quality material. And when you improve their fit, you can almost double their performance. And so that's what we discovered. And that's the reason that we created Aerem Innovations. In addition, and a convenient side effect of improving fit is actually that we reduce eyewear fogging substantially. On the right-hand side, you can see a picture of me. I wasn't doing anything special here, but I'm just wearing a cloth mask and I put an AerFrame over top of it. As you can see, through normal conversation and breathing, my eyewear fogging went away, all because we're gently sealing the mask to the face, and that causes the fog to go away because you're redirecting all the moisture out the front of the mask. There's a couple other products on the market that are seeking to do the same thing as we are. I'll highlight just a few here. Three of them, Wisconsin, Connecticut Biotech, and Bellis, are all 3D printed versions, and they're not particularly scalable. By contrast, Fix the Mask is scalable, but they have a difficulty with sanitation, and they're not particularly durable. Our product is made out of pretty high performance, high durability material, and it was designed specifically to meet infection prevention criteria. So it's easily cleaned, and you can also connect your mask directly to the frame so that when you're removing it, you don't have to touch your mask. Our pricing is competitive with the other members of this market, around $15. The two industries that we're focusing on are healthcare. I think that's pretty obvious. And the other is in industry. We're looking at manufacturing, construction, retail workers, and food service industries. The two major factors here are safety, because we've actually talked to two major manufacturers, one of whom indicated that their members were not wearing safety glasses because of eyewear fogging issues in chemical laboratories. And the other mentioned injuries in the workplace as a result of eyewear fogging due to masks. Food service and retail areas are also places that we're interested in, only because those workers are either high volume or they're working in environments where their eyewear is going to fog up easier. The market is pretty large for this and it is growing, mostly because of COVID. There's expected to be a sustained demand for personal protective equipment through 2027, according to Grand Research. The major drivers right now in the US are obviously COVID. In addition, the CDC is the one recommending and giving guidelines for various precautions to be used, and they recently recommended fitters. Additionally, ASTM just came out with a new mask standard for community face barriers, and we expect that OSHA is going to make a mandate that you'll have to follow some, if not all, of F3502, the new standard, in the near future. One of the interesting things to point out here is that F3502 requires, or actually doesn't require, it calls out an optional fit test, and our fitter is able, in many cases, to improve the fit of a mask substantially enough to get to the point where you're competitive via that standard per OSHA. To date, we have filed our patent. We're actually in the process of filing the full patent for international protection right now. We formed a corporation over the summer and we began mass producing our units over, close to December, and we had product ready to sell in January. So to date, we've sold around 10,000 frames and we've got a couple other in the pipeline. We are in the process of working on expanding our team, and we're also working on product number 2, which is really important. As the vaccine rolls out here in the United States, we're going to need to look forward, and we're going to need to look outside into international markets to grow our market share and penetration. We've completed one round of funding. We've raised $200,000 to date, and that's allowed us to basically get things started. What we're working on now is we're working on expanding our manufacturing and hiring folks to do sales. And we'd like to be able to hire our own team because right now we've been doing this all on our own time. And we project that to be in the $1.5 to $2 million range. So if you know anybody who's interested or might be interested in this product, we would love to hear from them. I'll leave you all with some parting testimonials. This product has been in testing, actually, in a local dental clinic since August. And the clinic has been using these every day. And they've been very pleased and very impressed. No complaints thus far. And most importantly, they've had 0 transmissions of COVID between patients or between providers. We are Aerem Innovations, and we're seeking to safely bring people together. If you're interested in talking to us more, we look forward to seeing you in the Q&A. Thanks.